friends to the show that never ends. This is Red All Over's Away End show, where we look at the opposition that we'll be facing shortly. To achieve this, we'll be talking to fans of the opposition, so I hope you enjoy the show. If you do, please give us a like. If you'd like to comment, please comment. It'd be lovely to read what you think as well. I would also say, if you feel able to, subscribe. It's in true Yorkshire fashion, it costs absolutely nothing to subscribe. So why not? Click the button, then you'll be told all about future Red All Over shows. If you know somebody that don't watch the show or hasn't subscribed, give him a nudge. Say it's worth it. Finally, cast your mind back. I remember a 4-year-old boy being lifted over the turnstiles to his first match at Oakwell, standing on the cop watching his heroes such as Barry Murphy. Now fast forward 60 odd years, the cop is now an all-seater stand and it's named the Barry Murphy stand after the legend. That 4-year-old boy is now finally, after all these years, back on the away end. Enjoy the show. Roll the title. This is the away end with Jake Tonge, Lincoln fan, and lots of other things. Jake, tell us about everything else that you do.
Oh, God, Andy, I do quite a lot, don't I? So I'm most well known for that League One podcast, which is a League One pod that we do. Yeah, it's got a Oxford, Fleetwood, and Portsmouth fan at the minute, so we're all very joyous. But yeah, that's that League One podcast. Come and check us out. And then I also do the Sunday Night Live League One lives with Nappers or Cods vlogs. So you guys will know Andy. I know you were watching them earlier on today. Yeah, we go there live 8 o'clock on a Sunday, and then the podcast comes out 5 o'clock Monday morning. But yes, come and check those out. Would be much appreciated.
I noticed at a recent one, young Ben tried to impersonate me by doing the 2-1 bit, and I don't remember you sticking up for me. I don't remember anything like that.
We did it off the air, Andy. I was sticking up for you off the air, mate. But
Is that what it was?
Can't be shows giving favours for Barnsley on air, can I? Be in bother.
I mean, a number of our viewers, well, all three of them, will be wondering why we're doing an away end when Barnsley are at home, because I normally just do them when we're actually away. So I just thought it were reasonable to tell them that you contacted me and said, when are we doing one? Because it's the highlight of my season. So all I really want to know, Jake, is when did you become so needy?
I've always been needy, and you can ask my ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend, there you go. Then.
Yeah. Well, no, do you know what it was? I love talking to you lot. Honestly, we work together on EFL Debate, don't we, with Gab, and you are one of the characters that stuck in my head the first time that you popped up on a call that we were on, and I just thought whenever I get the chance to work with him again, because obviously I think you guys are going to go up this year, so I want to make the most of it. To work with you one last time before you trot off and enjoy the championship. But that's why, mate. It's all because of you. It's not because of the Red All Over lot, because they're all useless, but it's all to do with you.
Sodom all.
Yeah, I agree.
It's all about me. That's all I need to know. I'll tell you one thing, that'll not be edited out. Right, Jake. Lincoln City, let's get all over it. Remind us about your formation, style of play, all stuff like that.
Oh God, right. So obviously when we last played you, it was at the first home game of Michael Scabala, so we were right in the infancy of his reign. He's done pretty well since that point. But we traditionally play a 3-back with wing backs, and then we have. When we played you last time, we would have played a front 3 with 2 wide attackers and 1 striker. But now we've actually got some fit strikers in the building. We've gone to 3 in midfield and 2 up top in a sort of a 5-3-2. But our wing backs are so offensive. They don't take the mick out of everyone, but they're just so offensive in terms of they're literally right on the back line. So they'll give your outside centre backs, which will be Josh Earl and one other, depending on who you guys play, will give them a bit of a tough time. And he'll make your wing backs work as well. But yeah, we've got 2 up front now, which is the biggest difference, and 3 in midfield. Whereas we had 2 in midfield. I remember that game at Central Bank. You guys put 3 in midfield, and you just played around us completely and dominated sort of the early part, the second half. But we've addressed that now, and we're playing a 5-3-2. But it's still good football, mate. I mean, we played Stevenage on the weekend, which isn't perhaps the best example of a purist game of football. Because we
Don't
all
tell
know how
Matt
they.
Farley. Don't tell Matt Farley on that one.
I've told Farley exactly what I
Good.
think about Stevenage. But yeah, no, it's still good football, but it's predominantly on the deck, passing side to side. Like I say, wing backs get high, play it into the centre forward, and work off that really. But it's been doing as well in recent weeks.
I've noticed that I'm talking about your performances. Your form of to my knowledge, of the last 10 games, you've won 5 and drawn 5. You've not lost any. I don't know if it stretches beyond 10 games. That's all I could look at. But it's a hell of an impressive thing.
Yeah. So we are 10 unbeaten. So the last time we lost was on New Year's Day away at Blackpool.
Wow.
And since then we've had strikers in the building and a fit Rico Hackett, who we'll come on to later. Having those 2 players back has been massive, and the form has been great. Like you say, I think 5 wins out of our last 7 games as well, which is pretty nifty. Some big draws in that as well. And if you look at draws at home to Peterborough and to Derby as well, which were pretty decent. Away draw at Wickham. I know you guys tonked them on the weekend, but still a good point away from home, and then a point against Stevenage as well was a good one. But form has been really good since the turn of the year. But prior to that, it was honking. Like before New Year's Day, we lost 4 consecutive games to Northampton, Blackpool, Bolton, and Derby, which was a tough run, but we had no centre forwards, like I said. But yeah, no, the form has been good. Performances have been good as well, which is what is making everybody more positive. If we don't sneak the playoffs this year, which I don't think we will, next year is looking really, really bright with a really young team, and performances have been really good.
That's good. That's good. I'm assuming then you've got some new players in January.
Yes, we did. So we did. We only signed. Well, we signed. I want to say 2 officially, and we brought 1 back. So we had a young lad on loan at Walsall called Freddie Draper, who had scored 10 goals in 20 games for Walsall. We then brought in a guy called Joe Taylor. You might have heard of him. He's played for Peterborough before.
Yeah.
He took a penalty in the Championship playoff final last year for Luton and scored. He was at Colchester for the first half of the season and scored 12 in 25. He's made the step up and been pretty good. And then we brought back Colin McGrandles on deadline day. I was quite underwhelmed with it. We did a T-Lop transfer deadline day stream. And you know, when you sign a player and you think, it might have been the same when you guys signed Grant from MK Dons. You think, really? Really? What's the point? And then we signed Colin McGrandles on loan from Charlton, and he's been a revelation since coming in, like Josh Grant has been since making the step up to Barnsley. So yeah, 3 new players and players returning back. So Ben House has come back, Rico Hackett's come back, and they really feel like new signings because they've been out for such a long period of time. So it's nice. We've got options now, which is really good.
He's certainly spreading the goals around, because as far as I know, Rico's your top goal scorer with about half a dozen games,
6,
I think, in the league. And yeah. So, but there's a number of others scoring 5 and what have you. Like is it Mandroy?
Danny Mandroy, who scored the winner at Oakwell last year, if you can remember.
I do remember him. I remember him going down for the penalty and all at your ground.
Yeah.
When Jordan Williams just looked at him funny. No, I know he caught him. I'm only winding you up. Don't.
I remember him more for that winner at Oakwell, mate.
That's Daniel. Are you watching? I'm going to reenact it for you. That's Daniel. This is Jordan Williams. Oh, down he's gone. That's Daniel for you. But you know, we're all different. So, you've got players injured? I think you've got players injured because I've not seen in the last couple of games. I've not seen our old player that we really liked, Adam Jackson. I've not seen him anywhere.
Yeah, well, Jacko's been probably our player of the season. He's been fantastic in that middle of the back 3. And I remember speaking to you before. You said he was fantastic at Barnsley. We're in love with Adam Jackson. We call him the Middlesbrough Maldini because that's where he's from. But
it's not that good.
Oh, he knows
Maldini, I
better.
mean. Maldini, I
Yeah,
mean.
Maldini. Yeah, he couldn't lace Adam Jackson's boot, could
No.
he? But yeah, no. Jacko was on the receiving end of a Jaden Stockley elbow, which if you've played Fleetwood in the last couple of weeks, which you have, you'll know that he likes to throw elbows, and he broke his nose. So he's one that definitely. Well, he might play. It depends because noses are really funny. He might come out with a mask on and be like a superhero, but. Most notably, Tyler Walker, who was unavailable for the last game, he's still injured. He will be out for the rest of the season. And then Ethan Hamilton is another big one. He was a really big player to watch out for when we played you guys in November. But he's out for the rest of the season now after getting an injury away at Burton. And maybe Conor McGrandles, we don't know. I mean, the press conference will come out tomorrow or Friday. And we don't know if Conor McGrandles, he missed out on Saturday against Stevenage, so he might be out. We could be really light in midfield, which would be terrifying coming up against Herbie Kane, which coming up against Luca Connell, Herbie Kane, McAtee, Phillips, whoever it is, terrifies me, to be honest. But yeah, we've got a couple out. But I don't know about how you found it, Andy, but whenever we get injuries, it doesn't seem to be spread out like the goals. It always seems to hit one area. Like we had no centre forwards, then we've got all the centre forwards back. Now all the midfielders are out. I'm thinking, gosh, Triv, give us a bit of strength. Like, and it's been really unfortunate, but everyone gets injuries. That's what I keep telling myself, so that I don't drive myself.
Yeah, some more than others. What do you think your strengths are then as a team?
Well, I think pressing is a strength of ours. We've got Ben House and Joe Taylor who are really good at pressing. You can remember Ben House from last year. It was an absolute nightmare. Our strength as a team, Andy, we've got the second best defence in the entire league. We've only conceded one more goal than Portsmouth, 15 clean sheets. We don't give a lot away. We don't score a lot, but we don't give a lot away. So we're very good defensively. Yeah, I think another ex-Barnsley lad, Rahan in midfield, who had a really brief spell. But goodness knows what you were doing getting rid of him, because he is fantastic. He's been fantastic. He's been really good as the six. And then, like I say, up front, we've got Ben House, who's a real presser. And then if you guys want to step up and play on the halfway line, we've got Joe Taylor, who, if you can remember, Cohen Bramwell, that plays for Rotherham and played for us before, lightning. He's on a similar sort of level. When we played Derby, he put the ball about a yard in front of Aaron Cashin and was about 5 yards away and still beat him to the ball. Although Cashin is a bit of a fridge, but yeah, we've got some strength. We have got some strengths, and mainly our defensive resilience is what we'll look to bring to the table at Oakwell.
He did well then. I'm surprised Cashin didn't take him out.
Yeah, he didn't get anywhere near him, mate. That's why Cashin.
What about weaknesses? And I promise you, I'll not tell anybody. This is just between me and you.
Yeah, this is it. I expect Neil to have already done his homework on Lincoln, but set pieces have been a real bugbear for us this year. And you might be licking your lips because you've got Phillips to deliver him and McAtee, and you've got Pines now, who's what, is he 6'7", 6'8"? He's a big old lad.
About 6'5", but people keep saying he's 6'7". He might be. I thought he was 6'5".
He might. You've not measured him personally,
no. I know. Who knows what to believe? You know, he's all from 6'3" to 6'10".
He's a big lad.
He's a big old unit. He puts himself about. I tell you what I do like about him, and I'm just not going off what I do like about him is he attacks the ball. I think too many players, and we're as guilty as anybody else, that you get a free kick or a corner or whatever, and they wait for it to pick. You know, players, across all teams, wait for it to come for them and get and reach them. He doesn't. He attacks it. So, in that respect, that's a good thing. Anyway, so
set pieces are a real weakness for us. I mean, we were 4 minutes into the season away at Bolton and we conceded a set piece, and it's been our Achilles heel sort of all season, really. So that's a big weakness. Also, I think you could argue it to be a weakness. We've got a really young squad, so we've probably got maybe the second or third youngest squad in the league behind Reading and Peterborough. So you've got experienced pros in there that have played 300-400 games. You'd be a bit more streetwise than us. So yeah, there's a couple there you can send to Mr. Collins, but I'm sure he already knows what he's doing.
I don't think he'll listen to me, to be honest. He ought to. I mean, who wouldn't? But,
I don't know. He's doing pretty well, isn't he?
He is. We've taught him all he knows.
He shut up a few critics. I remember when we played you last time, you guys were, a lot of you were 50-50 on him, but now he seems to be best thing since last bread.
it's worth not watching. It's really not worth looking at Twitter, because if we lose against you and then lose the following match, it'll be Collins out. We have got the vast majority of fans are behind him, but like everybody else, we have some keyboard warriors that can't wait but to pile on a manager, pile onto a player. I mean,
Alan Smith.
Alan Smith. Yeah, I mean, recently somebody piled onto Devante Cole because he's not interested, because we scored and he didn't celebrate with everybody else. He didn't
How
come
dare
running
he?
to one, and you just think, what? Oh, anyway, we've all got them. We've all got them. So, what are your thoughts on the game then? How do you think we're going to do, and how do you think you're going to do against us?
I'm terrified, Andy. Not going to lie. You've lost. I know we were unbeaten in 10, but you guys are my candidates for second place behind Portsmouth. I think you've been in incredible form recently. I watched back the extended highlights of last night. You played really well in the first half. I think you sort of sat back when you got the second goal, which is a shame because you could have really done with winning that. But
yeah,
you've got quality. You've got lots and lots of quality across the whole team. Like Liam Roberts is fantastic in goal. You've then got Pines, and you've got Josh Earl, who's been incredible since coming in from Fleetwood. You've got strength out wide and Cadden, and Devante Cole scored 17 goals so far this year. You've got strength in midfield, like I say, in McAtee, Phillips, Luke O'Connell, Herbie Kate. I think any midfield. I think some championship clubs would be very envious of the squad that you guys have got. I'm expecting a real tough test. You guys have been pretty good at Oakwell recently. I know you win a lot of games 2-1 at Oakwell, so I'm kind of thinking this is going to go the same way. But you also lost the game 2-1 at Oakwell, which is giving me little bit of hope. But yeah, I've got no doubt our unbeaten run is really going to be threatened this weekend. You guys will come on to us, and hopefully it raises our players' game, because we have ambitions of our own to try and sneak in the top 6 if we can. What better way to go away to a team that are trying to get in the top 2 to go and win there? So, yeah, it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game. Lincoln Barnsley games, from what I can remember when we've played you for the last 3 times, have been pretty good. I think we've beat you last season. We drew again this year. Quite a good game as well. So difficult, but I am excited because we're going to be well backed, I think.
You did what Bolton did last night. You scored a late equaliser after going in front, and then was also in from that early penalty, and then a late equaliser, which Bolton did. I were on for 2-1 again. Both those matches, I were on for my usual 2-1, and certainly last night they messed it up for me. So do you think you might sneak into the playoffs? Because you know that I've got you down as being playoff contenders.
Yeah, but you've also got Exeter in playoff contenders, and they're about 15. not to snag at you, Andy, but yeah, no. Do I think we're going to get top 6? I don't realistically. We are 8 points behind with 10 games to go. It's a really big jump. Stephen and Jules do have a game in hand. I know it's against you lot, so if you don't want to do us a favour,
we'll do them for you. We'll do them for you.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Andy.
Easy.
As long as you let us win on Saturday as well, that'd be doing us a right. So,
of course we will.
But yeah, no, I'm not expecting it. I mean, it's come late. If we'd had fit strikers at the start of the season, then maybe. And if we hadn't conceded all the, how the referees were playing like 15 minutes injury time at the start of the season, and that's all packed up now. But right at the start,
it weren't yesterday. We had 8 minutes yesterday to get get an equaliser.
I'm thinking when we went to Northampton and Bristol Rovers, we had 10 plus minutes in both of those games, and we dropped 4 points in both of those games because of and now they're not playing them rules, so we could be 4. But every team's going to be like that. But no, I don't think we're strong enough. Next year, I think we could be really, really cooking. But this year has been. I think if we come inside the top 10, where we are at the minute, 10 anywhere 10th between 10th and 8th would be a good season for me, I think.
Well, after Saturday, I'm still hopeful for you. You've still got a number of games to play. You've still got some
winnable games
that you can do. Yeah, you can beat some.
Starting Saturday,
but after Saturday, not on. No, don't try and wind me up. No, you'll not do it on Saturday. I think you've had too many points off us over the last 2 years. So I think it's about time. It's about time that we did.
4th time lucky, Andy. Maybe.
I know. Well, I thought it was 3rd time looking till that late goal. But it just shows you, doesn't it? Right. What I'm going to do before we start getting on to predictions, Jake, we've got a couple of lads, Tom Webster's lads, George and Isaac, who sometimes predict on the show. We on the main preview show, so they do their predictions. They're 11 years old now, and it's like, can you predict better than an 11-year-old? Well, I'll tell you this much, I can, because I'm top of that prediction league with me 2-1s. It's tried and tested. Honestly, it's tried and tested 2-1, tried and tested. So they think they're going to take over from me and Alan Smith. So they think, and we all think, that they're little Alan Andy, because as they grow up, they're going to replace us basically. A bit like Anton Dake. So I don't know. So they've got a couple of questions to ask you. So I'm going to bung them on to ask you a couple of questions. The first one's coming up.
Can you remember your first away game, or are you too old like Andy?
Well, unfortunately, I can. It was a playoff final, and Lincoln got to quite a few when I was younger. It was 2005, and we lost to Southend United at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. It was a long time, so nearly 20 years ago now, which makes me feel quite old. But then I remember I'm speaking to Andy Simcox, so I'm all right.
No need.
But
No need. Don't be.
but
Don't be needy. Don't be needy. There's no need for it. How old were you then? How old were you in 2005?
I would have been 7.
A baby.
Yeah,
Can you
6 or
remember much
7.
of it? Can you remember seeing the big lights and all that?
I remember crying because we lost. And I also really remember really annoying my dad, because it's obviously a bit of a trek to Cardiff. You've been before. I
Yeah.
kept asking him
Yeah.
nearly every 5 minutes, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we
Oh,
there yet?" And he said to me on my 18th birthday, he said he wanted to throw the car off the motorway with me inside it, which was really nice of him. But yeah, no, that's what I can remember. It was paid, and we had a couple more after that. We lost to Bournemouth the year after in the same playoff final, and then obviously we lost to Blackpool a couple of years ago. But yeah, playoff final at the Millennium's awful. It's awful. Losing a playoff final isn't the best thing to do in the world, is it?
it's not. It's certainly not. No.
At least we didn't lose it in the 119th minute or something like that.
Feels like the story of my life, that. Right, the next question, I'll put them on together. The next question for you.
Why don't you support a good team like Man City or Liverpool, or best of them all, Barnsley?
Oh, well, there's the question. Well, my dad is a Man United fan, so it would have been the easy option to go and be a Man United fan like my dad. But obviously, I'm born in Lincoln, so you have to support the team from where you're born. So I donned the red and white. You got to do it, haven't you? You got to support your local team and the team where you're from, or else what's the whole point? Because it's all just tribalism, really, isn't it? It's all my area is better than yours, and it's yeah. I think being born in Lincoln, being born next to the prison as well. Don't know if that was an omen or what, but yeah, it's local team. And Barnsley aren't a big club anyway. Barnsley aren't a big club.
No. Oh, I don't know about that. What did your dad born near Manchester or in Manchester, or anything like that?
No, he was born in he was born in Sleaford, so he's a typical Man United fan. So he was born nowhere near Manchester.
Why did he
And
support Man? Do you know why he supported Man United?
yeah, George Best would be the reason. He's 62 or 63. He
Oh, he's
said
not
he
that
watched
old then.
yeah. He said he watched George Best on the telly and fell in love with him. I didn't know that my dad could feel that way about another man, but yeah, he was a big fan of George Best.
What's your dad's name, Jake?
Paul.
You're a wrong un.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip that up and send it to him.
In our shop, in our shop that Tom set up, you can get a T-shirt that's got red all over going down and across. It's integrated in the red all over. It's got "You're a wrong un" on it. So
does Alan Smith wear that to every home game?
Not yet. No.
He should do.
I'm gonna wear one. I've sent off to buy one, and every time somebody's a wrong un, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to point at it and do that.
If it comes before Saturday, Andy, you've got to put it on. You've got to wear it for the game.
I could put it on. The only thing, I know you've had three playoff finals, and I know you've lost them all, and I know the 7-year-old Jake cried. Well, you're going to cry on Saturday as well, Jake. I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to cry on Saturday. Don't cry too loudly, though, because My prediction, and then you can tell me yours. My prediction, it'll come as a massive surprise to you. Barnsley's going to win 2-1.
Yeah, that's my prediction as well. That's what I went for on
I know.
that weekend podcast. Oh, you checked me out. Yeah, it's
I've seen you with that Cods blog. I've seen you with that Ben Napper, with Nappers. That Ben. I've seen you with him.
yeah,
he's a smashing guy, but he's turning into a wrong 'un, isn't he? You know.
He is. Ben is very much a wrong 'un, but I think Barnsley 2, Lincoln 1. I think might be similar in the fact that we get an early goal and take the lead, but I think you guys with the home support will come roaring back and pick up a routine 3 points. I think for Barnsley.
Well, at least you'll be able to go home, wherever, turn them and think, "I were right." At least it'll soften the blow a bit for you. So don't.
Although if it goes the other way, then
it won't.
If we win,
it won't.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll be right. Don't worry. All I can say, Jake, is thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure yet again to talk with you, and I hope we talk again soon, on whatever show I finish up on, whether it's games or wherever I finish up. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you go. Not only if you've gone from Lincoln, you've gone national. You'll be global next. I have to tell you this though, literally, which is why I was slightly delayed clicking you in. Literally, I had a message from one of my closest friends, a guy called Martin Barnett, who's a Wolverhampton Wanderers fan. He lives down there, and he's currently in Miami on a cruise in Miami. Some of us can afford it, and some of us can't. And he said, "You are not going to believe this. I am stuck in Miami, and I come across 2 Barnsleyites, and they both said they love red all over, and they think you're a god." So
it's the truth, Andy.
There's 2 chuffs in Miami that think I'm a god. Now they are the true wrong uns. Dear me, it's all too much. Jake, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
The only thing that's left to say then is, they think it's red all over. It is now.